Hello, good evening, everyone. It's another lockdown day again here in Manila. So, to make today productive, I decided to do a book review. Several book reviews on the books I've read this lockdown, and I've already read three books. So, we'll do it one book at a time, and I'll begin with the last book I read. I finished it yesterday, and it's an autobiography by Judi Dench, and it's entitled "And Furthermore." Judi Dench and Furthermore. Okay, so I rarely read biographies or autobiographies, but I have many books about celebrities, and this is one of the ones I've read for now. Um, Judi Dench is one of my favorite actresses, and she's very well respected in Great Britain, and she's one of the top tier actresses of her generation. No? Her contemporaries include Maggie Smith, Vanessa Redgrave, Lynn Redgrave, um, and then those who came before her like Peggy Ashcroft. So they belong to this rarefied, very talented, very well respected actresses. So in this book, which I enjoyed reading very much, first I'm amazed at her memory because the book starts in 1934 when she first starts her theater career, and then it ends in 2011. No, that's 9 years ago. So if you don't know, Judi is still acting up to now. So I think she was recently nominated for an Oscar for Philomena, which is not in this book. So she's still very productive. Although I haven't heard anything latest from her like this year and last year. But anyway, going back to the book, I'm amazed at how she remembers so many things. No? The names of her co-actors from the very beginning. So it's very detailed, and she goes through each play in a very detailed manner. So in all the plays she does, and she's done hundreds of plays, um, she talks about them at least in one paragraph. So you just imagine how she was able to fill this book with all the theater stories. And well, the humor is very British because she's British, and um, so yeah, if you're not British, you may not get some of her jokes, or if you're not in the theater, because there were some jokes I did not get, but some I understood. So because she writes in a very like she's just talking to you, know. So it's a very nice book to read because it's like she's in front of you and she's talking to you, and just mentioning all these names, and the names are complete with the family names. That's why I'm very impressed. That's number one. Number two, um, the theater part I didn't quite enjoy because it was really before my time. No? So 1934 up to maybe 1980s when she did, before she went to television and movies. So the reason why I know Judi Dench was I saw her first in A Room with a View. That was in 1986, I think, 87. And then, but at that time, I didn't know her as the Judi Dench. I just knew her as one of those actresses. No? Then she was in Tea with Mussolini, the movie with Cher. And then finally, she became well known when Mrs. Brown came out, 1996, I think. Yeah, 96 or 97, no? Mrs. Brown. So there she played Queen Victoria, and she got nominated for an Oscar for Best Actress. So her profile outside the theater world of London really expanded. That's why I got to know her. And then the year later, in 1998, in Shakespeare in Love, she finally won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress. Now, she was Queen Elizabeth, and in that short 8 minutes, she was able to convince the Academy to give the award to her. And well, she deserves the award actually, because she was very good in that movie. And that is a part of the book that I enjoyed very much because, in typical British manner, she knows how to self-deprecate, how to not put herself too much on the pedestal. But when you really know that she deserves all the acclaim that she gets, and she's very humble, and that part of the writing was what is really entertaining in this book. So, so it took me a few days to really get into the groove of this book because once she reached the Mrs. Brown phase, to Shakespeare in Love, to her work as M in the Bond movies, and all her all her opinions and how she worked with the two recent James Bond, Pierce Brosnan and Daniel Craig. So those parts are really juicy, and she also describes her experience at the Oscars, and much like the experiences of other actors, they say it's really a whirlwind of activities because it's almost 2 months. It's like an orgy of awards, I mean, which culminates in the Oscars. And during her time, the Oscars were in late March, around March 23, that week. So unlike this year when it was February 7, right? So there was a big, almost 1 month was added, subtracted from the Oscar calendar in recent years. But during her time, you really had to campaign, and the one who pushes her to campaign then was the notorious Harvey Weinstein. Harvey actually helped catapult her and put her where she deserves to be. Anyway, those are some of the good things Mr. Weinstein has done, aside from, well, you know what he has done. Okay, this book will appeal to her fans. Now, I love it. I love it very much. There are many photos. No? If you look around, you'll see she has many photos. My favorite, I didn't know she was married and she has a kid. So her husband is also from the theater. So, oh, I couldn't find their picture. They have a picture together with the family. So these are a recent family. It's so cute. That's her daughter and her grandson. So now I'm sure they're much bigger. And she has a picture here with her husband. So this is her husband. Her husband already died. So this is her husband. This one, Michael. So that part I really like because although she doesn't mention too much about her mishaps as a wife or as a wife and mother, because her book is really more about her career. But even then, she allows you to peek into her private life, which I also like very much. So anyway, this is her favorite play. So funny, Absolute Hell. The weird thing is, I was in London in between 2000 to 2010, and I never got the timing to see any of her shows. So, and I think she's a bit old now. I don't know how old she is right now. She didn't really put her age, but I'm not sure if she's still active in the theater. But well, those are the things that I wish I would have done. See Judi Dench in a play in London. But anyway, if it happens, it happens. So for those who love her and those who want to know more about her contribution to British theater and to theater in general, and of course to filmmaking as well, this is a good book you can read. It's very funny, it's very detailed, and it will tell you, because for her, she never really had that. Well, she got rejections. Like they said she was short. She couldn't be queen because she was a short lady. She couldn't play femme fatales because she was short. But that never really got to her, because when she acted, the producers and directors would change their mind when they see her do the work. They'd say, "Oh, that's okay." They improvise, and they build Like she describes it like they put a stool or something to make her as tall as the guy. You know? So they were able to remedy scenes, even in the theater, to make her look taller. Or her costumes had to be very outlandish to make her look more grand because she was short in stature. Um, there was a part of the book when somebody said she would not succeed in TV and the movies because she had the wrong face. No? So when she was younger, a guy on TV said to her, who was auditioning her, said, "You can't be a success in TV or movies because you have the wrong face. Everything is wrong about your face." Because she said, the problem with film and TV is your face is as big as a tree. So the close up, especially when you're in a theater, your face is so close up. Um, every day, everyone can really see your face. So she was worried about that, but of course now we know she didn't have to worry about anything. She acted in TV really late in the 80s already, so she was already a mature actress by then. And when she started to make films, um, her age matched the ages of the queens that she had to portray and the other ladies she had to portray. So I guess, if it's really meant for you and you have the talent for it, it will really go to you. That opportunity will go to you, and I guess that's one lesson I've learned from her. Um, I also learned humility. She's very humble. Although she's on top of her career, she'll always be like one of the top people to pick for a certain role. She's very humble and she doesn't brag about it. So anyway, if you want, you can grab a copy of this book. I'm sure it's somewhere online or in secondhand. Um, Secondhand. I don't know if they still publish it, but it's a good book. If you're a Judi Dench fan, grab the opportunity. So, thank you and keep reading, guys.